It had been 7 days since my wife's funeral. The house was silent, too silent. Even the ticking of the clock sounded like it was echoing through a canyon. I thought I'd finished sorting her things. But that afternoon, while clearing her desk, I found an envelope yellowed, tied with a faded blue ribbon. Inside was a hand-drawn map. The ink was slightly smudged, the paper worn at the edges, and at the bottom, in her handwriting, "At the end of this road, you'll find me again."
You always did love your mysteries, didn't you, Claire?
I traced the faint red line across the map, from our hometown to the mountains, to a coastline I hadn't seen in decades. Every dot marked a place from our life together. I didn't know what she wanted me to find, but I knew I had to go. That night, I packed a small bag, took out the old RV from the garage, and placed her photograph on the passenger seat.
All right, my love. One last trip.
The first stop on her map was a small lake up north. We'd spent our honeymoon there, in a cabin with a leaky roof and no hot water. It rained the whole week, and we called it our perfect storm. When I arrived, the lake looked smaller than I remembered, like time had gently folded it in half, but the sound of the wind through the reeds was the same. On the old wooden bench by the water, I saw something taped beneath the seat, a tiny white envelope. Inside was a note in her handwriting. "If you're reading this, you made it. Sit a while. The world's still beautiful, isn't it?"
Still beautiful, yes, but only because you're still here somehow.
I sat there for hours, watching the sunlight ripple across the lake, and for the first time in weeks, I smiled. The next stop led me to the town where we met, a small bookstore on Maple Avenue, still standing after all these years. The bell above the door chimed as I entered. Dust and paper, that old, familiar smell filled the air. The store owner, a gray-haired man with kind eyes, looked up and smiled.
"You must be Charles. Your wife told me you'd come by one day." He reached under the counter and pulled out a small, wrapped parcel. "She left this here a long time ago. Said it was for a man who reads too slowly."
I laughed. That was her favorite joke. Inside the parcel was a book, the collected poems of Rilke, the very one we'd read together on the day we met. A bookmark was tucked near the end, and on it, in her handwriting, "We never finished this poem. Read it, now it ends with hope."
She always said love is just another word for patience. I closed the book, my hands trembling slightly, and I whispered, "Thank you, Claire."
The next morning, the road stretched ahead, endless, golden, and quiet. Somewhere between two small towns, I saw a young man standing by the roadside. His car hood was up, smoke rising. I slowed down.
Need a ride?
Yeah, just to the next town, if you don't mind.
He looked barely 30, but his eyes carried the same weight mine did. We talked for miles. He told me he lost someone too, a girl he thought he'd grow old with.
I know that pain. It never goes away completely, but it softens, like old leather.
How did you move on?
I didn't. I just learned to carry her differently.
When I dropped him off, he thanked me and said, "You sound like someone who's still in love." And I smiled.
I guess I am.
Her third mark on the map was a hiking trail we used to visit in the fall. The leaves had started to turn, brushing the ground in shades of gold and red. I walked up the hill, slowly, my knees complaining with every step. At the top stood a bench overlooking the valley, and there, taped under the wooden seat, another envelope. I already knew what it would say. Her words were always simple, always direct, but they always found the deepest place in me. "Sit here and look up." Every time you did, I was already looking back at you.
You always said heaven was just another word for the sky.
I sat there until dusk. The first stars began to appear, and I realized I wasn't afraid of the night anymore. On the fifth day, the weather turned. Dark clouds rolled in, and rain poured like grief itself. The map smeared in the water, and for a while, I didn't know which direction to take. The RV stalled halfway up a muddy hill, so I walked, soaked, until I found shelter. An abandoned cabin, its roof sagging like an old sigh. Inside, I lit a candle. And on the wall, behind the dust, I saw something that made my breath catch. A photograph, black and white, framed in rusted metal. It was us, Claire and I, young, standing by the same lake from day one.
You were here before me, leading me, even now.
I laughed and cried at the same time. Outside, the rain slowed to a whisper. The final mark on her map was a small lighthouse by the ocean, a place we'd always talked about visiting, but never did. When I arrived, the sea roared like it was trying to speak. The wind nearly pushed me back, but someone kept me moving forward. Inside the lighthouse, on the old wooden table, was a small metal box labeled, "For Charles." My hands shook as I opened it. Inside was a photograph, the two of us on our wedding day, and a small voice recorder. I pressed play.
"If you're hearing this, you finished the journey. Thank you for loving me so well. This map wasn't meant to lead you to me. It was meant to lead you back to yourself."
Claire,
I hope you smile when you see the ocean, because that's where I'll always be. In every wave that breaks, in every sunrise you wake too long, but not lonely.
I fell to my knees and wept. Her voice was gone, but her presence filled the entire room. The sea outside shimmered like tears under sunlight. It's been 3 months since that journey. The map now hangs on my wall, framed, creased, sacred. Every morning, I brew 2 cups of coffee, one for me, one for her, and sit by the window facing east.
You kept your promise, my love. We met again, not at the end of the road, but at the start of a new one.
Sometimes, when the wind moves just right, I swear I can smell her perfume or hear her laugh behind. I don't turn around anymore. I just smile.
Love doesn't end, Claire. It just changes direction.
And as the morning sun rises over the sea, I whisper the words she left me. At the end of this road, you'll find me again.